All right, so good morning. My name is Sharita Bennett. I'm the program coordinator at the Dorothy Benson Multipurpose Complex with the Department of Senior Services. So welcome to week 4 of Basic Computer. Today may go by a little bit fast, but we'll see with the lesson that I have to teach you today. So, as always, I'm going to start off with a trivia question. What you can do is go ahead and write it down. And of course, you can give yourself a high five, whether or not you get it right, okay? So, do you know when the keyboard was invented? The keyboard. So, as we know, the keyboard is very essential when it comes to maneuvering on our laptop, desktops, even on our iPads or even Android tablets, all those different things. The keyboard is very essential. All right, so when was the keyboard invented?
The keyboard invented.
Invented, yes. All right, I'm going to.
Okay, I think it's showing.
What did you get? Yeah, are you in your browser?
Well, actually, I Googled it.
Yeah. So you're using your browser. Good. So what came up for you?
Well, it says 1868.
Yes. So what I have on my end is that the invention of the modern keyboard began with the invention of the typewriter. Because remember typewriters. In 1868. Then Remington Company mass marketed the first typewriter starting in 1877. So that's when they originally, of course, with typewriters, just like a keyboard, of course, we didn't have a computer attached to it, okay? And the first production was in 1877. So we can see how far that has been in production, all right? And as the time goes by, the keyboards get more and more modern, of course. So today, what I wanted to show is how to locate certain keys and also their functions. So I'm going to pull up here. I just have a little PowerPoint where it shows the outlay of the keyboard. Some keyboards may be different. For instance, I remember when I first started college, I went to London for Christmas and my mom got me a laptop. And I realized that certain keys on that laptop were in different spots. I don't know why. To this day, maybe because it was produced over there, but I didn't understand why the keyboard was a slightly bit different from the ones I've seen before. But majority of the keys were still the same and did the same things. So as you can see here, it outlines different keys. So you have your typing keys, which are highlighted in yellow, control keys that are highlighted in red, like your escape button. Then you have function keys which are here in blue, indicator keys right here, numlock, and then your numeric keypad, which is well, really have two different sections of those. So basic things as far as the keyboard goes, and a couple of things that I wanted to point out is certain functions of these particular keys, okay? So we're gonna come out of that. So if you can go ahead and either bring up your Google search engine, or if you can open up Microsoft Word, that would be great. I'm going to be using Microsoft Word to show the different functions of the particular keys. All right. So the first thing I would like to show you is what caps lock mean. Caps lock. Caps lock. So I'm gonna go back right here to our PowerPoint, and as you can see, cap lock is underneath typing keys, okay? So what the cap lock means is exactly, if you think about the word caps, So what this key does is make any letter or word you want to capitalize. So you would use this key to do that. And there's actually two keys that can do this function, okay? So what we're going to do, I'm going to type, I'm a member of the Dorothy C. Benson Senior Center. All right, So let's say I wanted to type another sentence, but I wanted the word to be in all caps, right? So let's use the word welcome. I want you right now to locate caps lock on your computer. Caps lock on your computer, on your keyboard, on your computer. All right, I want you to locate that. I want you to hit that. Now, on most keyboards, once you hit cap lock, there should be a light indicating that it's on. All right, that the function is on. Okay, so once you hit a letter, do you see that? But if you keep on going, right, and I'm gonna put capital just so we can practice. See that? It is all in capital letters, okay? So that's exactly what that means. The cap lock, everything will, once you start typing, will come out in capital letters. And I wanna show you the same thing if you're going to our browser as well. It will do the same exact thing. So I'm going to minimize this, remember from week 1, or minimize button. All right, we're going to minimize, and let's go into Google Chrome. So of course, Google. All right, Google Chrome. And so the same thing, let's type in capital. Remember, your cap locks should still be on. Do you see that, guys? So the exact same thing, even in your browser, this function, this is what it will produce. All of your letters that you type in will be in capital letters, all right? All right, so we're gonna leave that up. Now I want you to go ahead and take your cap locks off. So I want you to click on that cap lock button. And just for reference, I'm going to bring it back our PowerPoint. And you see the cap locks is right here to the left on your keyboard. This is a standard keyboard, so it should be exactly here. To your left, right where I'm hovering over, okay? So let's minimize. All right, guys. So remember I told you there's another way you can also make anything you want capital, okay? So the next key that I want to point out is the shift button. So please go ahead and locate that shift button on your keyboard. So the shift button is exactly underneath the cap locks button, okay? Exactly underneath the caps lock button to your left. And now, just so you know, there is normally 2 shifts on your keyboard, but everyone always gravitate towards the one on your left, right underneath that cap lock. All right, so what I want you to do, we're gonna still be using our Google Chrome. See how it already populate capital 1, but we're not gonna do that. All right, so what I want you to do is hold whatever finger you want to use. I want you to hold down the shift button, hold it. Do not let go, hold it down. And I want you to type off. So we're gonna type OF. Do you see that? All right, so the shift button also gives you capital letters. All right, so the only difference with the shift button versus the caps lock button is that you would have to hold the shift button down to make your words capital. Versus the cap lock, you just hit it one time and it makes everything capital for you. So just let's practice doing that. And I'm going to put capital of Jamaica. All right, so remember, hold your shift button down and I want you to continue typing. See that, guys? All right, and when you let go, that's it. All right, so the shift button can also capitalize anything that you want. Okay? So this should be a very easy key that everyone should know, but just in case that you don't, the space button. So the space button is this very large empty bar right here, kind of in the middle of the main part of your keyboard. Okay, so this is your space button. So it does exactly what it means. It's put space in between whatever you are typing. So let's go back to our Microsoft Word, or if you're using your Google search, you can stay right there. Okay, so I want to go back. So let's take this up. All right, so let's type in, I'm going to use what I was typing in before, and we're just typing random things here, guys. So capital, right? So if I want to put a space between the next word, which if you're in Microsoft Word, it normally automatically, I know you can put the function where it automatically space, but if not, you'll have to put space in between your words. You're going to hit space, and then you start typing your other word, okay? So it's very easy, guys. It takes practice. See, I just went ahead and hit my shift, so that's why that became capital. But that's all you're doing. In order to put space, you just hit that space button, okay? All right, now, let's say, guys, I want to erase all of this. I don't want this anymore. I want to erase all of it, all right? There's two ways you can do this. Two ways, all right? And I'm going to show you one way in Word, and the other way I'm going to show you in Google search. So within here, if you were in here last week class, I was showing the mouse, different function of the mouse, which I'm going to pull up our PowerPoint, and we're going to go to a mouse diagram. So as you can see, with the mouse, you have your cable, which connects to the USB port on your computer. So a USB port on your computer or your desktop, if you're using a desktop, it will be on that control unit, your monitor, which basically the brain of your computer. All right, so you'll find USB port on there. If you're using a laptop, it will be on either side of your laptop, okay? And so you'll just put that USB port in, and here you can use a regular mouse. All right, then as you see here, you have a right click and as you can see, it says to open sensitive menus, which I'm going to show you that as well. You have the wheel that's in the middle, which is your function. As you can see, I'm doing that right now. Move up and down, okay? Up and down. And then you have your left click, which this is your cursor. That it's, to me, the left click you use way more than your right click. So it's the main click that you use to do everything, okay? All right, so let's minimize this. And let's say we want to delete. We want to completely delete this. One function I want to show you is how to select, which is like copying, all right? And then to delete, okay? So I want you to hold your left clicker down. I want you to select this, so you will run to your left, okay? You're running the mouse to the left, and you're selecting all of this. Now, one key that is on your computer, on your keyboard, is delete. So I want you to go ahead and locate your delete button. And if we go back to our keyboard right here, you see delete. It's right here. Okay, so locate that. And all you're going to do is go ahead, guys, and hit delete. All right, so do you see that? Delete takes away everything, okay? Now, let's go to Google Chrome. And so the last thing we had up, I was typing this in all caps. So let's say I just want to back up, okay? So maybe I want to take off two letters, or maybe one letter, okay? All I'm doing is go right here, and I want you to locate Backspace. Let's bring up back our PowerPoint. Backspace. All right. I want you to locate that. And let's, hopefully you guys did. All right, you see the backspace right here? And that's all you're going to do. So on your keyboard, locate backspace. If you keep on hitting, it will erase all your letters. Or if you hold it all the way down, it will just erase everything. All right? So those are the two ways you can delete, all right? Or I would say back up letters that you may not want anymore, okay? So let's go back into Microsoft Word. And I want to show you how you would copy and paste something, okay? So I want you now to locate your right clicker on your mouse, your right clicker. If you remember from our PowerPoint, it says that the right clicker is to open context/sensitive menus, all right? So even though to me, you don't use the right clicker as much as you do the left, it is still very important, all right? So what I want you to do, remember, if you're using Microsoft Word, that's fine, but I'm going to show you with both. So I want you to type in on your Microsoft Word, Fulton County Senior Services. All right, I hope you're practicing using that space button that we just went over. All right, so let's say I want to copy and paste this into Word. All right, so we're in Word right now. So we're gonna copy and paste this over from Word into Google, all right? So same thing, you're gonna left click, hold down that left clicker, and we're gonna move that left clicker to the left to highlight all of this. Now to copy all of this, you're going to stay right here, guys. So right within that same box you just highlighted, right click. Now, do you see these different functions that came up? I can cut, copy, okay? What we want to do is copy. So what we're gonna do is left click. All right, you're gonna left click. Now you see it's still highlighted. We're going to go over into Google. So you should have your Google open. Hopefully you guys have been practicing how to maneuver through your different browser you may have open. And what we want to do is paste what we just typed into Microsoft Word into our Google search. All you have to do, guys, is right click, click on that right clicker, right? And we're going to hit paste. All right, paste. Look at that. See that? Very easy, guys, very easy. You just have to practice moving over, but you type it in, you copy it, and then in order to drop it in your Google search, all you have to do is right click and hit paste. And then of course you hit enter and you'll get your different search coming up. And you see that senior services, Fulton County, excuse me, government right here, okay? So let's go back out. Let's go back out. So let's say we want to delete this, all right? We've already highlighted it. So once again, let's do that. Remember, your left clicker, hold it down, and you're moving to your left. So you highlight the entire thing. Then I want you to click on your right clicker. Just one time, guys, that right clicker. Now, these different options are up. Now, one thing I do want to point out, on your keyboard, you will not find cut or copy. You won't see those words. But the two that we learned earlier, for cut, it would be delete, or I would say backspace, but mostly delete. You'd want to, that would still be the same thing as cut it, okay? But now we want to get rid of this entirely, but we're in Word. So all we have to do is go up to this function and click cut. And see, it takes it away. All right, completely takes it away. So the same thing if you're supposed to go into Google. All right, remember, left click, hold your left click, move it to the left. If you highlight, now you right click, and see, even though on the Google search you have more options than you do in Microsoft Word, all you're looking for is cut, okay? Cut takes the entire thing out of the search bar. So once you click on that, it goes away, all right? All right, so let's minimize. We want to minimize this. All right, guys, last thing I want to show you, say you're typing up something, like earlier we had our trivia question. If you missed it, I asked what year was the keyboard invented. So if I look that up and I want to copy and paste that information in Word, how would I do that? So I'm in Word right now. I have up a clean new document open. Let's go to our Google search. All right. So I want us to type together, however you want to type it, because more than likely you'll get the same results. But let's put in, when was the keyboard invented? Now, most of the time, as you know from week 1, if something has already been searched, most of the time it would already populate and you see these different things. So it makes it a little bit easier with searching. All right, so let's click on this first one here. So here you go. This is exactly what we found this morning. Miss Mimi practiced this morning using her Google search, and she was able to find the answer. Okay, so let's say we want to copy and paste this entire thing right here. All right, this entire thing. So what we're going to do, guys, your left click, I want you to hold that down. But this time, we're going to be moving it to the right. Left click, but you're moving to the right. All right? So hold your left click down, keep holding it, and move to your right. And you want to get everything in there. Sometimes it's a bit hard. We don't want it in there. Sometimes you have to move it back. This is something you have to play around with, because if you don't want certain things to get copied, You have to play around. See, I can go back if I want to take out something, but I want to take it all the way down. All this time, guys, you keep on holding that left clicker. Once you let it go, it is still highlighted. Now, I want you to right click. So you're going to right click on this. All right, so you see we have copy, we have search, print, or inspect. We don't need any of those options except for copy. So we're going to go ahead and hit copy. And I want you to go back into your Microsoft Word. If you don't have Microsoft Word, what you can do is open up another browser and just copy it back into the search, okay? But let's go to Microsoft Word first. So once you're in Word, you're going to right click, if it lets me, okay, there we go. Now, see, we have 3 different paste options right here, okay? So this one, it's saying paste, it keeps the formatting, or it's merging the format, or keep the text only. I always choose the first one, guys, keep the source formatting. So sometimes if it's a different color in the text, it will copy exactly like how it was, or if it was highlighted. So this is what we're gonna press. Do you see that? So everything that we just highlighted from off of our Google search is now in our Word, all right? So very simple, it's something you have to practice, and let's do it with our Google search. It's the same thing. To be on the safe side, if I do where I'm going between browsers, I will always go back and hit copy once more. Same thing, it's still highlighted. Open up a new browser. This is your search bar, the same thing. Right click, hit paste, and there you go. Now, of course, it's not gonna show the entire thing, so you'd have to use that key from earlier. And I'm gonna go back to our PowerPoint and show you that real quick. But everything that we just found, the history of modern computer, is right there in our Google search, okay? Right there in our Google search. So one more time, the simple keys that you need to remember and just practice, whether it may be in a browser or use the Microsoft Word. You have, this morning we talked about our cap lock, which makes something capital. You hit that one time, everything you type will show up in caps. Then the next way to do something in cap is your shift button, which is located right here. Then we have our space button or delete button and backspace button, okay? So I would recommend that going into Google, typing in whatever it is, and learn how to use these different keys, or like I said, in Microsoft Word. All right, guys? And then the second thing, your mouse. So as I said earlier, you have the connector here. Like today, I do have a mouse on the laptop, but I connected a mouse so I could show you guys how to use it. All right, so you have that would connect to a computer or a desktop. You have your right click, which most of the time the function is you are either using it to copy something, paste something, excuse me, back into something, just like it says, to open context and sensitive menus. The left clicker is what is used, in my opinion, majority of the time, which of course that is to move your cursor or to select an object, which we did today. And of course, the wheel in the middle is what moves everything up and down, like I just did here, okay? All right, guys, so I want to thank you for joining me today. I'm going to go ahead and close out, and we're going to use our couple remaining minutes to answer any questions that you may have. All right. Thank you guys once again for joining, and I'll see you next week.